Hey everyone, we're here today with the game Hamlet, which is from Mighty Boards, and it's designed by
David Chircop.
And you're taking your small little hamlet in medieval England to become a town, and to do that you have to build the church, and so you're delivering materials. It's a competitive game where you're kind of sandboxing and the village changed. So let's take a look at how to play, and then we'll come back and talk about our feelings about the game in the end.
Yep.
Okay, we have the game kind of set up, but we thought we'd talk about a few things before we got into all of it. So first of all, it does come with this insert that's kind of useful, kind of not. You're going to still have to put some things into plastic bags, like the meeples and your gold and so forth. Otherwise, it's going to slide underneath the insert. But it does have a space for these tiles, which is nice. Anything you want to say about the insert?
I would say if you're going to go for something that's recyclable, like the cardboard on this, then there are recyclable bags.
Oh,
so I would just use those.
Just go the whole way and have recyclable bags instead
if
of normal
that's
plastic.
That's why you're doing that. Like, if you're not doing that for that reason, just use normal bags. If you're doing it for that reason, use recyclable bags.
Fair enough. Okay, so we have our example set up here of a town. We have it for a 1 to 2 player. Notice that there is a 1 to 2 here on the church tile. So all these are tiles, even though they're different shapes. And that's important for what we're going to talk about in a minute. But we're going to put our a single donkey and a single workout here. Go ahead and do that, Blaze. Okay. And I'll talk about what the different pieces are. Also, everybody has flags. These are going to go on landmark tiles when they go out. Right now, there's no landmark tiles. Those are something that you can purchase as a blueprint. In fact, that small woodland over there is a landmark tile. And when you see those kind, and I'll just go over here to the close-up scene real quick, and we'll show you.
The reason why you have flags is just to show that it is yours and not someone else's or a public thing. It's specifically yours, and you get the points for it, and only you. Yeah.
On these ones, you have these little flag symbols that are kind of hard to see because they're black, but they are on there. And whenever you have a landmark, you place a flag on there, like Blaze was saying, and then you can see that that is your landmark for the end of the game scoring. The rest of the game is set up, except for Blaze needs to put out a marker here for scoring. And this is our scoreboard here. We have tiles for purchase. We'll talk about that more in a minute. We have our basic tiles out here. You'll notice that all the roads are connected. I think when I explained this one time to somebody, I failed to mention that you always have to connect roads. Other than that, forest can connect to mountains and forest to forest and mountain to mountains. But if you do a mountain to a forest, you're never going to be able to add a road later to it. These are roads that you can add later on. These pieces, but you do need to make sure whenever you have 2 tiles touching that they are touching legally.
Yeah, so let's say I took this tile and I put it next to the market. I would have to place a road here to be able to access that because there's no road.
To be able to go in there and actually work. We'll talk about building it, though. Building it, you don't need the road there.
Which, if you think about it, is kind of weird because you have to get there to build it.
Yeah.
So
anyway, everybody starts with 1 worker out here and 1 donkey out here. You have these little tokens we'll talk more about later, but you have those. You have some refined materials of flour, bricks, lumber, and milk. Those come out.
You also have unrefined. They're double-sided. So...
those are actually the quality versions of them on the side. So we'll show those in close up real quick too. On each side of these are the regular refined side. If you flip these over, they have a quality side. The way that you get those is there are milestones that can be completed throughout the game. They look like this.
That's not how you get the refined.
Yes, it. And so let's say I was the miller, and whenever I generate flour, I'm going to make refined flour for the rest of the game. So basically, it's whoever makes the first refinery of this type is going to get those, and there's 1 for each of those. Plus, there's 1 for being the first bridge or path on the game board. So just keep those in mind too. There's also awards that you'll score at the end of the game. Basically, first and second place for most stuff at the church building, most landmark buildings, and then the most sales at the market. Let's go ahead and talk about the market real quick. The market is this location over here, which you can use to do things at any other location as long as you can get the stuff there. Let's go ahead and talk about that too. But let's say I needed this donkey to get stuff down to here. The donkey can get the stuff out of the market for free, and then down to, let's say I need to purchase it down here where I'm working. The donkey can get stuff all the way across this tile as long as it's coming out of its origination tile. But I can purchase basic materials, wood, wood, wheat, and stone for 3 coins each, or I can get refined materials, lumber, brick, flour, and milk for 5 coins each, and then they can go anywhere on the board. The other thing I'm going to do is in a 2-player game, I'm going to have less of these, 3-player slightly less, and in a 4-player I use all of them, but there's 1, 2, and 3 tier market tiles that go out here, so we go 1, 1, 2, and fill those out, and then I have the other ones, and there's a really small number here, 2 and 3, just stacked up here ready to refill that market. But you can't use the purchase action to do things at the market. The other important tile is the one that green is on here, down here. Here you can go up and buy blueprint tiles, and the way that you buy is you simply spend based on where they're at. So if I wanted this one, it's free, but if I wanted this one, it's 2, so I'd have to go 1 and 2 to incentivize these tiles first, and then I take this one slide to the left, and then I refill from the bag the rightmost empty spot. That's how you purchase from the market. You can do that one time, and then after I do that, I can hire workers as many times as I can afford. My first worker, who is human, is 5, second one to hire 7, third one is 9, and then donkeys are 3 coins each. Human workers start at the church and they lay down. Donkey workers can go anywhere, and you can use them in the same turn. To play the game...
Workers. No, it's the normal workers.
Donkey workers. You hire donkeys here.
Yeah, but the donkeys can only move one spot. It's the people that can move anywhere.
That's true. We're not talking about movement, though, which we can go ahead and talk about that in a second. But right now we're talking about when you buy them, they can go anywhere on the board.
Yes.
So to start the game, the first player would get 3 coins. The second player gets 4. In a 3-player game, it's the second and third each get 4. And a third, in a game with 4 players, it's the third and fourth players each get 4 coins to start the game. Besides that, each of these different types of basic production places will start with 2 of the materials on them. So 2 wood, 2 stone, and 2 wheat. Later on, you're going to want to transport these around. So let's go ahead and talk about a player turn. On a player turn, you can move your people, workers, as far as you want, anywhere, as long as there's a road to connect them. So this person could be here, they're going to work, and then you lay them down. We'll talk about the types of work in a second. Donkeys can take 1 movement action. And why would you move a donkey? Well, donkeys are how you transport stuff. Again, you can get stuff out of its origination tile for free. Then a donkey has to move it across another one. And then in the last tile that you're going to work, you just need that person. At these basic spaces, I can work for 2 coins, and then as long as there's an empty spot here, so I could go here and make 1 wood. Here I can make 1 stone. Here I can make 1 wheat and make 2 coins. But the resources that are on the board aren't owned by anyone. In fact, let's go ahead and see. Let's say I had built this outpost later in the game, and this outpost says 1 point per tile from this outpost to the church, shortest path. And so let's say I built this later on. It needs, just to build it, this is not a good example, but this one needs 4 coins, and then you get 3 points for it. So maybe let's pick a different one. We'll pick one that actually makes stuff. So let's take this lumber mill. Let's say I connect this lumber mill later on in the game. So what would I need to build this one, Blaze? To build it, I would need...
You would need 1 brick and 2 stone.
So And at this point, I know we don't have brick, but just to give an example here of how to get the stuff from here over to here, we would need. So I would be working here on the edge to build this. I would have already had to buy this up here, taking a market town hall action, and I buy the blueprint. I can have a max of 3, but then I need to get the stuff there. So as long as I can get the stuff there, so if I can get the 2 stuff, I can get the 2 stuff to my donkey here for free, and then I'm working over here, so it gets to me, and then it gets used up. So again, nobody owns these resources that are out on the board. Let's say I had a brick already out here too, though. The brick could come from wherever it was coming, and whoever, let's say it was my brick, I would get 1 point and 1 gold when that was used to make this. And then in the future, if I had the carpenter and I make lumber over here, then I'm going to make quality stuff at this location. And then whenever it gets used from here, whenever it gets used, I get double. So 2 points and 2 coins. All things to keep in mind. Basically, you're going to use your donkeys like conveyor belts, but in order to get stuff from here, I probably would need, if I was green, I would need another donkey later on like this. So I have a donkey here. So then I could use yellow's lumber and get it. Maybe I needed it back over. Who knows? Let's see here. Maybe there's a place that needs lumber over here. Yeah, here's something that needs lumber. If I needed to build this down here, I could build that down here as green because I could get it out of here for free to this donkey. And then it would come to this donkey along this road. And then this donkey would bring it to me here so I could build this large woodland. That's kind of how transportation works in the game. You're going to do that, including doing things here at the church where we would both get points throughout the game until all the parts of the church are filled up. And really it's about getting these markers out. These things are just reminders, but you build the church and everybody takes an even amount of turns. So once the church is built, the game will be over. So I like the game because it's a sandboxing game where the board changes each time. It's not a fixed board. And what do you like about it?
I usually like games that have a lot of strategy to them, and I think this game has it because you have to place your donkeys in the right place to move your stuff, and you have to plan ahead too.
Yeah.
And also you have to think about the awards and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of the things that we didn't talk about was like roads. There's 2 kinds of roads. There's bridges and paths.
Yeah.
And to build those, you go like you have to go forest to forest, which is a path, and then bridges. I think that's right. I don't know. They're both just kinds of roads.
You have to use wood for rocks or mountains.
You have to use wood in the mountains, and you have to use stone in the forest, which
kind of makes sense because gravel path, wood bridge.
Sure. But you get points from that. You get points from your coins. 1/3 of a point, basically, for coins.
When we were playing together, my strategy was to build the church as much as possible, so then I could get the points that you get for building it.
And that's really seems to be the best way to get points, unless you have a good combo. You might have a good combo somewhere to allow you to get points elsewhere. But just remember, you can't spend the free market actions, which are unlimited at the market itself. You have to spend those elsewhere.
Yeah.
And
so when I was playing, I built 3 of the 4 things for the church, and you only built 1, which allowed me to get a lot of points. But you had other stuff that got you more points. So I think
more
you won
of the milestones.
I think it was.
Yeah,
you won by 1. You won by 1.
Yeah, but the milestones really can help make better stuff, and then when anyone uses that stuff, you get the points for that, and you get the coins for that, and then that's all a good way to get points. It's also good to do some of the stuff at the market where you're getting, you're turning in stuff easily.
Yeah,
because if somebody built something, you could just buy some points straight up at the market.
Towards the end, I used the market a lot, but I didn't buy the what are these called?
the what are they called at the market? They're the free market tiles. I
Yeah, I
believe.
didn't.
The market tiles. They're just
I
market
didn't
tiles.
get
Yeah.
any of the market tiles, which was my problem because I think that's why you won, because you got the
Yeah.
um.
I got the merchant, which
Yeah, you got the merchant, which got you
an
the.
additional 4 points.
You got
for most
that got you
sales
the
at the
4
market.
points that you needed to beat me.
Yeah.
If you had only gotten 3, we would have tied 2.
Yeah.
I would have won.
So I like a lot of parts about it.
Yeah, same with me.
The iconography is really small. The rule book is laid out a little bit weird, and we didn't always like that part. But
I was really confused at the start, but I started to get the hang of it.
I think it's also like not a game for people that don't like fiddliness. There's a little bit of fiddliness there. I tried the solo mode. I didn't enjoy that as much as playing with other people. I think playing with other people is where this game is at. I think 4 players might be a little bit large. 2 and 3 is pretty nice.
I've only played a 2-player, so yeah.
Yeah, but I've played it even with people that aren't huge gamers, and they got into it and liked it a little bit. Anything else you want to say about the game?
I like the art.
You like the art?
Is pretty good, and it gives the right feel for a what do you say, medieval England feel.
Yeah, kind of. Or yeah, I'm not exactly sure on the timing here.
I'd say it was the 17th.
17th century? Who knows? Maybe before that. But it's kind of like a little tiny Where's Waldo, Carcassonne.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah, because
that has nothing to do with this
lots
game.
of little tiny bits of imagery on the tiles, and that's fun. I like that. But it is hard to see.
But that doesn't have anything to do with Waldo.
That's just tiny finding things on the map. Okay, sure.
Art.
All right, but it is a fun game. It's not going to be for everybody again because the icons are very small. It is hard to see for some people, especially if you're in a place that isn't super well lit, or if you just struggle with seeing little tiny things. And there's a lot going on, a lot of little pieces. If you're looking for something that's a little more straightforward and a little easier to get right into, this might not be the game for you.
I would definitely not recommend this for a party. Like, period. Do not use this for a party unless it is a heavy game party.
There you go. Then yeah. It's not a heavy game though. I'd say it's a medium complexity game, and
but still, this can get very confusing.
It's fun.
I got confused multiple times with the rules. There's a lot of rules.
It's fun to see your village, your hamlet turn into a town. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Happy gaming.
I'm not familiar with the word hamlet. I just thought it was the name of the game.
It is the name of the game. Happy gaming, and we'll catch you later.